is our U14 Bowns versus Richardson. eyes our first seat was number 14's Richardson. Getting one of the day. Let's get into the next video. Let's go, let's go, let's go! The results, first lines to centre ice, first lines to centre ice.
Good morning and welcome to the fourth and final day of Showcase 2026. We start off with our first live under-14s game of the weekend. All 4 teams of the game on their belt as they played on the second pan yesterday. It's our first look though at these under-14 sides. We start off with Bowns versus Richardson, and we're off and away. Bowns shooting left to right in the blue and red. Richardson donning the colours of the Cardiff Devils, and a Welsh hockey legend Mark Richardson in the red and green, shooting right to left. Starting net minus for Richardson is number 1 Dominic Bacala, the Solihull Junior. And with what can only be described as a perfect coincidence is the Dundee netminder Cooper McAndrew, starting 14 Bowns with his Dundee pads, which match perfectly with the Team Bowns GB colours. Starting away, sorry, for Team Richardson is Daniel Betts, Manchester Junior. As both teams have, well, basically every game has started off with this sort of feeling out process. Not many games have really started off strong right off the bat. Teams have taken a bit to get going. The under-14s with 2 games today as well. So we'll see how they get into it. 3 periods of 15 minutes for these. Face-off won by Brooks. Played down, and Team Richardson will give chase. Unable to properly feed that through, so Team Bowns will come back the other way. Team Bowns victorious. A win here would put them in the driving seat for their final game of the day, as they will play Team Phillips, who also won their game yesterday. So the 2 sides remaining undefeated. Could be something in that. Could end up, if results go the way the form book shows, the penultimate game of the day could decide our under-14s competition. Wild misses as he risks that one in. It comes back in by Stewart. He will send that wide as well, and it's cleared out by Team Bowns. Bowns with a 4-3 victory against Team Kirk. Perfect on the penalty kill as well, as there's a player popping a tight in a really risky position, trying to feed it through, running out of room. A trailing man sends that over the bar, and it was sticked away nicely by Josh Broxham. Richardson yet to get themselves a goal. A 2-0 loss against Team Phillips yesterday. Playing against one of the brightest young netmining prospects in Jacob Robinson, though. Lots of experience playing for England, so he's always going to be a tricky one to put goals past, as Richardson come in nicely and turn over. This time in a risky spot, but that's sent over the bar of McAndrew. Comes out with Grzyakowski. Sheffield Junior knows this building well, and it's a great feed through, and a weird deflection by Josh Broxham, but positioned himself nicely for a threatening chance, and Richardson will just bring it back in their own zone for safety. First 3 and a bit minutes gone here. Chances at both sides, mistakes from both sides as well, and this is why both sides, like the start of a boxing match, a bit cautious, bit end-to-end, as they just try and get a feel for the puck. Here early on this Bank Holiday Monday, kept in by Grzyakowski. He's got a one-on-one to contend with, trying to cut across to the top. Just buys his time a bit too much, and that allows Bowns to get players back. But Richardson, despite not scoring yesterday, have started off strong. Across one-timer, kicked aside. Oliver Abbott just left alone in front of goal. The Bowns shape up and clear it down. Bodies pushing forward. A couple hit the deck each. And it's going to find its way out this time towards Els. But he takes a tumble, putting too much into that shot. And Richardson are going to ice this here as it's going to be chased down by Manikari. We'll go down for a face-off with 10:39 to play in the first. Guessed this one right off the draw is going to be scooped down, attempted anyway by Abbott. Couldn't clear that down the board, so Team Bowns looking to get a first real bit of offensive zone time. And trying to use the body well. It was Luke Swift, and now he's going to drop into a dangerous position, but he gets covered nicely. And Team Bowns, a couple of smart plays in the offensive zone, and that is a great turnover. Back to, oh, it's a brilliant save as well, kicking away there by Betts to deny the Leeds junior man, Luke Swift, who the penalty going to be coming up as well against Team Richardson as behind the goal. Luca Donato takes a dip. Out will go then in the first 5 minutes to our first power play of the game for Team Richardson. They were 3 for 3 yesterday on the penalty kill. And as Liam said, it's a lot easier with these sides that are a mix of players who may have never played together, may not even know each other, to kill off a penalty rather than score. And it's showing us perfect on a penalty kill, but 0 for 6 on the power play yesterday. Certainly wasn't without their chances against Team Phillips. That's a great start as it will be cleared away down the length of the ice. First job on this first call of special teams for Team Richardson is done. Oh, it's poor as Salfetta gave it back to his opposite number on the other team, and that just allowed them briefly to kill off more time and have to quickly try and work it out of their zone. It's a poor pass across away from Salfetta, and again McBurney will pick it up and bring it down. Now Salfetta out in front. They're trying to play the puck, but they can't get it back of the top of the net. And McBurney with a great stick. He's going to get a short-handed look towards. Oh, brilliant! The Scot rips one into a top corner. I didn't quite think that McAndrew was expecting that one. And it's barred out and in from Conor McBurney. And short-handed, he gets Richardson's first goal of the weekend. So Team Bowns looking to keep their undefeated record right now. Have gone down 1-0 short-handed. And with the way that Richardson have started this period, I went for not only an exciting game, but a tough prospect. And how this under-14s competition could actually pan out. The player hits the deck for Team Richardson, but they help it back round. There's 30 seconds left for Team Richardson to kill off as Team Bowns yet to get any sort of groove going in the power play. It's a good pass through. Bodies can't drag it round the back doors there, and a couple of bodies fan at it, and it's off the post and back round into the corner, and a prime opportunity for Team Bowns goes amiss. Now big glove down by Betts, and Richardson, a textbook penalty kill with the dream opening goal for them by Conor McBurney. There's a couple passes went right through, and a couple fans as Betts was slow to recover. Bowns had the opportunity, but it couldn't tie the game up. Carey will play this down, can't be kept in, and flick between the legs. Compton pushes forward as back out we go to 5-on-5. The Richardson man just fanning on that. And Team Bowns will not be able to get it out of their zone as Cliff can't control it through traffic, and off balance it's sent this time by Calvert, and Richardson looking the more steadier side right now. That's tipped just wide and landed in the skates of Carey, and she'll clear that down in ice already, slowing, not going to make it for an icing call, so we'll stay on over halfway through this opening period already. Off the boards is through Carey. It's a great stick though, she was tied up, but assistance coming in from Blanders helped Compton push forward. He's got two across to his right, but he tries driving forward instead of playing the passing option. And that's going to allow it to run behind the goal line. Still Richardson pushing on the backhanding, optimistic. It's going to be waved off, a high stick, and that's as impressive as that was. Textbook no goal. I mean, as impressive as that was, it was a good foot and a half over the crossbar. And there was no argument really from the Richardson players, but it's a sign of the pressure. And the second goal of the game won't stand. Donato off the draw, gets it out with Luke Swift, and he's going to be one of the real danger men for this Team Bowns side, and Team Richardson going to have to find a way to shut him down. This top line will move the puck very well, and Richardson aggressive to jump on them and catch the loose puck. It just caught up in the skates though, can't be batted out. The loose puck comes out though towards Calvert, and he'll clear that down. And it won't have any threat of an icing as it batted down to the ice pretty quickly by Donato. Charging in again is Mickelson, another one of the Leeds Junior United's forwards. Can't clear down the line. Backhanded out of the zone, sticked nicely by Broxham. Now Swift, laid off to Donato. Vlanek Shiman's tied up, forced round the houses and pressing well on a Richardson D. Clearing the lines again, but that's a wayward pass, and it looks like it's going to plug, and it will be waved off long before it went for icing anyway. But it did carry, so life still in this ice surface. Not the greatest of passes, and there's a little bit of a lazy pick-up there from Abbott. Could have certainly intercepted that pass a bit better. It's played down the line by Betts, but it's only to a blue jersey, and Team Bowns push on again. Oh, from a tight angle, the rebound's offered up, can't be put home. Betts jumping on that with 5:01 to play here in the first. Richardson lead with the lone short-handed goal. Salfetta from a tight angle, this time the rebound pushed aside a lot better by Betts. Richardson round the houses, I'll try and play it, picked up by Fairweather. And round again towards Ayla White. Out-strengthened on the boards and down it will come. No icing once more. This first period flown on nicely. Team Bowns still looking to get their rhythm as shut down by Abbott, unable to control if there's courts. And briefly offside Team Bowns will be, but now it's set back up and trying to pick it through. Childs goes offside. We're going to face off back in neutral ice. Great stick lift onto Schroeder up. not harm Team Bowns too much, as now they've got a bit of space over on the far side, pushing forward. Childs is alongside, shoulder up. Can't get a pass across to him though, and Richardson again tight on the defensive structure, but there's a bit of a gap to fire a shot through by Childs, but it's dealt with again by Betts. Can't clear out their zone, but a tumble aids it up the boards, but again can't getting past the blue line. But Team Bowns not able to really get many passes across, as there's a good sense of urgency from Team Richardson, and that's why they've been able to hold on to their lead so far and not really given Team Bowns many a look in towards Daniel Betts. Now they'll come forward again, Team Richardson. Long poked off his stick, but only towards his teammate. Played down the line again. He was thinking about a change, but they're able to move it across ice and complete a couple of fresh legs they wanted out. Awkwardly along the boards, and it's mishandled and cleared out of the zone by Team Bowns. Aggressive from Betts. It's the second time this game has come a long way out, and it's going to work out well for him. Across, brilliant pass, just under the stick of Noah Marfleet. And, well, that could have been another goalie assist, and quite a good one from Daniel Betts, but instead they're going to come all the way down. It is with Kopstake. Can't feed that for a little deflection, sends it round the back, and Team Richardson again moving at the back end of the period, looking to double their lead. Carney forces them wide and wins the turnover. Given back though off the stick of Ollie Cliff. Out towards the point, quick to him's Ayla White. Shot goes past her, it's loose, and the rebound sticked aside there by Carey. Loose out in front, one of the screening Richardson players pushed over, and three blue jerseys go and pin the man down on the near side and force it out, and now it's with the goal scorer McBurney. Compton. McBurney again, but has played down the line, not quick enough though is Morgan. Stewart pressed still by Swift and batted down, and that little play works out nicely for Richardson, but they run out of room towards the boards to start working the space. McBurney try and forces that down, but if that carried, it would have gone for icing. Aggressive. Stewart's played down, and a little argy-bargy down in front of the penalty boxes. That could be the destination for some of them if they push the line a bit. A little over 60 seconds to go here in the first. Wristed in away from the net though of Betts. Great stick from Luke Swift, using his long reach to keep the play rolling in the O-zone for Team Bowns, looking to get back level at the end of the first round of 15. Trying to centre it through, but a little bit rushed, and avoiding the hip check off Donato was Calver. He's going to rush through. Another chance on the back door. It's played through nicely, but missing on the shot was Conor McBurney for his second, and he dropped in all the way from his own blue line to play that chance, and a wise move. He's going to come back up to him again. We've already seen the wrist shot he has on him, but he's stuck in his backhand. The one he usually plays as a lefty. He's stuck on the right. Currently couldn't get that shot away. We cleared back round towards the Solway man. Just has to play that down again due to the mishandle. One last chance, probably been shut down as a great stick, and with a penalty. No, we do not. We've got a whistle blowing the play dead. There's a player down on the ice on the near side boards. It's Luke Swift, who looks to be getting up all right. So Luke Swift back up to his feet, heading down the tunnel. Good to see. He's such an important player for this team-bound side. So 2 seconds left in the period. See if Richardson have a crafty play. They're trying, driving forward, it's loose and they can't put it in. But that nearly worked a treat for them, but McAndrew keeps it a 1-goal game, 15 minutes down, 30 to go. We'll be back with the second period in just a moment. Ready to get underway then, second period. We are off and away. White plays that down towards McBurney. Carrying this forward straight away. The lone goal scorer in this game so far was a short-handed effort. Across to McBurney as he's pushing forward for his side. White can't settle that down the first time of asking. She'll play it away. I think that's hit a skate, so there'll be no icing. And again, aggressive. Out of the goal comes Betts. Nearly turned over right in front of the Bowns goal, but it's not going to cause them any harm as the first period flew by. Pushing forward again, turning on a swivel. Couldn't get the first shot away. They'll be pushed back towards McAndrew. Richardson looking to go from strength to strength. That's forced down the ice, but without an ice cut, that's never going to carry. But McBurney is quick enough down into Richardson D to clear that out. It's an awkward change from Team Bowns. Not too many men, but it's away from the pucks. It's played back down. Richardson can't gain the zone, though. Trying to force it down. Took a couple looks there from Blair. Then crashed into Noah Marfleet. Childs. Straight into the glove and played out by Betts. It's frustrated netminder, and an apology straight away from the referee. Is premature whistle. Betts is showing a good level of aggression right now. Coming out, playing the puck, wanting to move it quickly. Eight games, including this one today. Our final day of Showcase 2026. 12s and 13s finished yesterday. 14s, 15s and 17s. All to be won. Bland gets Richardson on side, glove down by McAndrew. It will be a face-off this time at the other end of the ice with 12:50 to play here in the second. Rising, that one over the bar, just staying in play. An awkward bounce off the glass. Doesn't harm Bowns, it falls right to the stick of Thea Phillips. That's going to set Cliff on his way, but a great poke check and recovery by Stewart. Richardson right now doing everything right in their own zone. And basically is meaning every bit of attacking time that Team Bowns has had on the puck has basically amounted to nothing. That's a brilliant play through the legs and pushing on. Shot wide of the net. The pass was on, but couldn't even play for a rebound. Otherwise, it's a plays, but that bobbles just over the stick as Kai Copestake was trying to give his side a second with a deflection. Richardson still pushing on. There's a big hit into the boards behind the goal. Back up to his feet, feeding through, and this time with a flex off the leg of Liversage and round the net. Bowns again, happy to play the body. Nice turn there by Copestake. Trying to scramble it in front. Bowns will eventually clear it away. Copestake at the end of a quality shift dangles his way through one, just retrieves the puck briefly before it's poked aside by Bland, and Richardson looked to come back the other way. Down through the centre lane, speed and hands flowing right now. As Calvert tries playing into the middle, turn back over. Now he'll collect the loose one and just have to backhand that, hoping it can get down the line. Offside goes Richardson. And Bowns free to get it out of their third of the ice. Ticked out. The two number 7s find each other, but it's not quite what Broxton would have hoped for to connect to Luca Donato. Now there's space for Calvert. One of the Bowns coaches not happy with a pass that was made, but well recovered defensively, and Richardson on a change might get caught on an odd man rush here, but again, forced wide there is Lewis Oates. We've got an injury down as well. Another Team Bowns player down on the ice. So back up to his feet, Donato, and he's off down the tunnel with a face-off coming in towards neutral ice. So Team Bowns looking to get themselves back level. Able to put 4 in yesterday with 4 different goal scorers as well. Not many of these games would have had a bunch of goals for a side. They've all been separate goal scorers. Good depth of ability for Team Bowns, it shows. But it could also mean that it's not really that star that's going to get you 2 or 3 important ones, like we're seeing with players like Murray Johnston for Scotland under 15s, or Rocco Leone. Those players that have a couple loaded in the barrel for you. Off balance there was Liversage, blocked aside there by Betts, who's not had to be tested much. Liversage sent back in from the point. This time it's blocked before it sees Betts. Kept in again by Liversage, and for a third time, he can't force it past him. Positioned well on the boards, and this time it's poked the opposite way from him. And offside on the change. Bowns will get caught. I'm going to whistle 8:34 to play here in the second period of our first game of the day. Well, chance down the other way, quickly responding and sticked aside by McAndrew. Winding up clear lane, this one off the top of the stick. And Team Richardson with a couple of threatening chances towards McAndrew. Got to be closing down those shooting lanes, Team Bowns. I think that's got to have just been what the difference maker is defensively. Team Richardson have just been better, as you can see there. Sticked quickly away off the blue line. 2-on-2 entering zone this time for Team Richardson. Forced round the back of Donetters. It's going to be chased in by Jack McAlpin. He's sent down, a penalty will be called. And Team Richardson are going to the power play for the first time this game. It's Cliff who's going to go for roughing. So change of netminders just before the halfway stage, as in comes Jasper Phipps for Daniel Betts. Dominic Bacalar as well, in for McAndrew. See if that could be a potential difference maker. Oh, the back door, brilliant work and diving. Welcome to the game, Bacalar. Richardson. Already 1 goal on special teams this morning, as on the penalty kill, though. Is a good little move, opens up a bit of a shooting lane, and Bacalar again pushes that one to his right. And clears it away from his net. There's space out in front. Slow to see the pass, trailing back door a couple. Having to cut out to the top. Drop pass, trying to move smartly here. Is off the side netting. Goes Noah Marfleet. Trailing it up towards a point. That's wristed in by Blair. Sent wide again, but quickly retrieving the puck is Team Richardson. Marfleet waiting in the middle. There's Cameron. Marfleet just turning his back to the play, and that allows Bowns to drop a couple of bodies on him, trying to cover it up. There is Bacalar, and as the puck was able to fall loosely to him, Marfleet doing too much of nothing behind the net. A smart move by the 2 Team Bowns defensemen, just pinch on him. And that'll kill off the first minute of the power play. 0 for 6 yesterday against Team Phillips. But they also didn't get a single goal in general against Team Phillips yesterday. They've already changed that feat. So perhaps another trend to be broken. Loop down. blocked before it sees anything of Bacala. That's cleared down. 200 foot of ice. Stick aside by Phipps. Trying to potentially turn or return the favour of their own short-handed goal, but that just goes wide by Mikkelsons. Compton trying to square out into the middle, but it's cleared away again by Team Bowns. Under 6 minutes to play here in this middle period, still at a 1-0 game. Back out to 5-on-5 we go. Cliff, one of the goal scorers yesterday, will join the play. Compton unable to fully dump that in, and Cliff will collect. Just over handling that briefly from Salfetta. Doesn't fully turn the puck over, and Team Bowns racing forward. The back door's there, and Phipps reads it well, and Donato shut down on the back door. And Team Bowns keep the play rolling, though, kept in with a good stick of Harley Morgan. Grzyakowski. Chipped in by Morgan. Well worked clearing that down the boards by Stewart. Behind this time, it's a mishandle by Salfetta, and that's going to give an opportunity to Bowns, moving the other way again. The period flying by offside. Would have been Team Richardson, but wasn't able to hold the puck in away. Great positioning on the body by Liversedge. Protects the puck nicely from a stick. Cliff, wow, gets it back down the line as it couldn't be controlled by White. Brought in this time by Team Richardson. And strength moving forward and winding up and missing there. Properly digging into that shot, but unable to hit the target was Charlie Calvert. Ended up being a brief 3-on-1, and they're going to be another one entering the zone, getting back for all bodies. That's sticked aside, and now the rebound's there, and that's blocked. Great work by Mason Childs to cover his netminder, who again slow post to post from Bacala. Calvert down the line. Marfleet will look to control. 3 minutes to go in the period, and it's taken off, and Richardson looking for their second. Can't be filtered through by Calvert. Took a couple looks, and in the end it's round to the far side. Marfleet. Bowns finally able to break it out. It's a great pass across, but just stuck on the backhand is Childs. But a pinpoint pass. And Moortree. Knocked off his stick by O's. Still pushing on in the corner. Kept in. Sent back down. Gloved aside and losing sight of where the puck's gone there is Phipps. And out in front. Covered up. The rebound offered again. And not able to get all of that as they cleared it was Callan Blair. And that's probably worked to his favour. If that stops it being an icing. Briefly it in the offensive zone as well. Team Richardson from the turnover. Couldn't fully dump it down. This time they snatched it the other way. But pushing forward, kicked aside, and the rebound dealt with by Phipps as the net flies off. Trying to tuck it in. And the net's somehow near enough been repositioned. As it's knocked off again, and we'll get a whistle with 1:26 to play here in the second period. Richardson still lead by 1-0. Now towards the point, cleared away, but it's been a good shift from Henri Mikkelsen. Dangling his way through, stuck in his backhand as that's swiped away. Again, a good attempt pushing forward though from Ethan Liversedge. He'll look to drop in back up to the point. Wide of the net. It's tipped from the shot of Marnie Carey. Richardson, fancy one more look the other way. At the end of this period, it's going to be sent back in as they're offside. Offside. They'll get themselves back set. Blair, again, dumping it down. Unable to be pushed off the puck, charging forward. Bowns trying to snatch one late. Still with Cliff, he winds up. That's taken away from him. There's a great stick by the Richardson D again, as he can't wind up and look for his second of the weekend. And the Claxon's going to go with 1 period left. And Team Richardson still holding on against Team Bowns. They lead 1-0. Off and away then, the third and final period. Another tight matchup here at Showcase. Oates brings it down for Team Bowns. They're trying to get themselves back level. 1 goal in 30 minutes of hockey. And our first game, actually first under 14s game of the weekend on stream. They've had their first matches played on the second pad yesterday. And actually, Team Bowns won their first, Team Richardson lost, and in 12s and 13s, the winners were both undefeated. I've got one team left undefeated in both 15s, and that's kicked away. Brilliant work by Bowns to feed it forward, but Team Richardson able to keep it away. Jasper Phipps has been quality since he's come in, following on from the hard work Daniel Betts has done an hour 2-on-2 coming forward. Cameron's going to have to change his line here, and that made it a little bit awkward for long. They're both on the near side, and a one-timer in the middle of the slot. It's poked aside. And on paper, all but currently 15s and 17s look to be won by, and again another undefeated side. However, a win here for Richardson would completely turn the table. Still though, 13 minutes to find a winner. Bowns can't get their heads down about it. Literally 1 goal is all they need to change the tide of this game. But it's still so easy when you know you're down in the game, and no matter what you do, nothing goes. You can find yourself down. But as Liam Peters said on Saturday, 2 goals can come in 60 seconds in a hockey game. However, will they get that luxury? On a change, it's a mishandle by Southhead, picked up by his opposite number of Conor McBurney. He's the man with the lone goal in this game. Short-handed effort too, so if Bowns were to lose this by 1-0, they would be rather frustrated about that fact, but Richardson have played amazing so far. It's been a game of netminders, and it might just be a case of which netty now bites first. Neither Bacala or Phipps, since they've come in, have conceded. That's just gone wide. Well seen by Bacala. In front again, tidied up. Rebounds there, and Bacala scrambles and pushes out on a side. And case in point, it's not the first time we've had to do that this game. And Phipps has done a couple as well. And neither netminder looking beatable right now. Good stick lift along the boards by Stewart. He'll send one in to the corner, comes round-handedly towards Grzyakowski. Through the blue paint it goes again, and kept in. It's pushed aside confidently by Bacala. He sees in full flow state right now. Bowns looking tired from Childs. He's put in a full effort this game, 100% every shift for Team Bowns. One of their standout defensemen. Again, another reason why it's been kept just a 1-0 game. The difference maker though has been really that Richardson have just been more consistent in their own zone. Bowns are just that one blunder. And you could perhaps argue that because of how good both sides have been defensively, well, that's actually why it happened on the power play when all 5 of them are pushing up, and you get that one breakaway, the 1-0, and it changes the tide. And it just does sum up how this game has gone. A real tight affair between these two 14 sides, and well, it's only going to get better as the day goes on. Both these sides in action again today. Starting at 6 o'clock, our under 14s will be the conclusion. There's going to be a chance here, but Cliff not quick enough to read a puck, and that allows them to get back in a potential 2-0. It's going to be cleared back down, and it's going to be a chance this time for Broxham as he brings it down this left wing. Broxham trying to flick to the near side after cutting out to Bacala's left, but it doesn't fall for Solihull netminder. Curry sends Bowns back on the way in the O-zone. Round the houses, waiting for assistance on the change. Now up to Carey again. Wristed wide and sticked into the corner by Cochrane. O's. Now Swift. Phipps deals with that one. The rebound offered up, but that's sent over the bar. Carey back into the corner. Was a shout across, but I don't get a pass there straight away. Up to the point from Swift. Hesitation, gets bodies back, and that allows Phipps to see the shot clearly. And Bowns going to have to start moving the puck sooner. Just too slow on the release from a couple of these point shots. They've got options up in front again. Chance this time, and what a glove save from Jasper Phipps to deny Henri Mikkelsons. He had no issue releasing that one, but the Swindon netminder showing his class. With 8:26 to go, it's still 1-0 for Team Richardson. Marfleet, round he plays this. Bowns finding some confidence here, but it's a great stick to clear it out, and rushing on. Here comes Team Richardson. One more goal for them could put this out of reach with just 8 minutes to play here. Bowns would be lucky to get one. Not through a lack of trying, but it's just seemed impossible to break down this Richardson defence and get past both their netminders, who've been unbelievable. You just seen with the windmill from Phipps. Just kept in at the blue line. A brief mishandle, but it's covered quickly. But Salfetta now coming with speed. He's going to have to go this all by himself, and it's a great block aside, putting body on the line there from Harrison Condon. Long. Team Bowns bench just wanting a bit more pressure. Trying to clear out their own zone. It catches their eye. It's too easy for a long portion of that for Richardson to hold on to the puck, and now they get a rush. Oh, by themselves right now. Bodies forward. Still completing the change though. Now 5-on-5 in the offensive zone. Just a miss. Handel receiving the pass from shoulder up. This allows Richardson to deal with it briefly. Still can't clear out to the point, and that's stick down. There's going to be a 3-on-2 on a change here instead though. Cameron this time will return the favour. Oh, and nearly a big spill by Backler. His first mistake, and we said it might come down to which netminder bites first. That's out his glove, and that has just drifted inches past his post, at least for him, the right side. Stewart. McBurney. Compton. McBurney again. Blocked high into the air and out of play. There is 4:53 to play here in the final period. Cochrane stressing that down, and the tip just missed, and Bacala, sorry, again will be able to block that away. Pressure not dealt with yet though, as Bowns urgently trying to clear out their zone. Raised to it off the boards, a great stick by Blair, allows Richardson to try and step forward, but an even better one and a more important time of the game from Jensen Els. Can't clear it down though. This is inviting Broxton back in on his forehand, dangling forward, and it's tucked in. Bacala crashed through, and hands there from Broxton. Dangles it round him. We're going to have a discussion to see if this one will stand. We've already had one disallowed for a high stick. Will this be netminder interference? Well, the referees will have a discussion. Big call here if this is going to stand. This could put the game to bed for Team Richardson if given. Was there enough netminder interference? And it's given. Referees say no, perhaps. They're going to believe that the puck was past him and there was no chance despite the contact. Bacala saving it. Well, there's not been a game that's flown quite like this one over the weekend. And that's right on the back door to win it, surely! Team Richardson, strength to strength. It took nearly half an hour again to find a second. And like buses, two come at once. Grzyakowski finds Richardson's third. Could not buy one yesterday. And that surely gets Team Richardson their first win of the Under-14s campaign this weekend. Timeout called by Team Bowns. They've not got long to get themselves back in this game. And, well, we are in for a rather exciting end. Well, 4 minutes to play. Team Bowns needed a win here to put themselves as firm favourites for Under-14s, and now the competition blown wide open. swift. Tying up at the boards. Can't use his long levers to stick that away. And Morgan trying to drop into the gap, but was offered up by Abbott on his backhand through. It's a tornado down low. Phipps kicking away, and the rebound kept out as well. The Swindon netminder scrambles and keeps it out the back of his net. Wristed in again, this time blocked away in Richardson's defence, coming to aid their netminder. Great play, pushes a man off the puck, but no one's there to poach onto it. Oates still driving forward. That's a tumbling man and should be able to clear this away despite the hustle of Mickelson's. Zach Fairweather gets it down the ice, and time ticking away for Team Bowns. Tipped out in front for the 5-0, recovered well. And Jasper Phipps has been incredible since he came in halfway through this game. Salfetta. On the backhand. He clears it out. And Team Richardson come forward again. Marfleet. Can't clear that away, and urgency needs to happen now. Oh, there's a trip there. No penalty. There's going to be a chance as Baccalar kicks that away, and Richardson probably very lucky not to get the call there. It's a tough one to see from the referee, though, a long way back. The three-man system all by themselves, the referee, so a bit of leeway always has to be offered up there. We're into the final minute and change. Miracle needed for Team Bowns. Cleared out, and is this going to make it for icing? No, the tired ice. That's going to allow that to plug, and we've got 50 seconds left. On a change, there's a massive gap over on the far side, and Team Bowns seem to have resided themselves to defeat as they didn't want to push to keep it onside. Now they'll push on. There's going to be a chance for one. Oh, Jasper Phipps, that's unbelievable. A little deflection as well, and he still corrected his movement and threw himself in. Quality stuff from the Swindon netty. Couple of bodies hit the deck in the corner, and all Richardson needs to do is clear this away. Be worked down and no look. Yes, oh, there's a big hit down at the boards. Cleared down, and it's going to be enough. Team Richardson get themselves their first win and first goals on the board, and a shutout for the duel with Betts and Phipps, and they have been absolutely excellent. First game of the day goes in favour of Richardson.
final scores of the Goals. Bowns 0, Richardson 3. Up next will be number 14's Kirk versus Phillips. Don't know if the bar might be, I'm not sure. If it is, feel free to grab some breakfast, grab a drink. We'll be back shortly.